it to be doubled. I don't need it to be faster. I just need the same internet for a cheaper cost. And then she was like, okay, I can get it down to like slightly better for $50. And I was like, yeah, that'd be perfect. That's exactly what I asked you for. And I don't know if she like adjusted something on her end, but then my internet crashed and my chat with her disappeared. So we'll see if it actually went through or if I have to do all that again later.
Is that where Pat was working?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you had, was it your cell phone provider was supposed to be?
It was his cell phone provider. I never switched, but.
I'm harassing you on our Instagram story right now because you were taking forever. And so I took a picture. It was like, let's go. And I tagged you.
Oh my God.
Follow us on Instagram, friends.
InOurThirties pod. 30s is a number on Instagram, even though it's spelled out here.
Like our stuff.
We need an intro. We don't have an intro in any of our podcasts.
Oh, shit. Wait, what did I type out?
Start talking.
I even told you to practice this.
I had a good idea at one point, and then I don't remember what it was.
I loved my little script. Let me see if I can find it. I should have like pinned it. How long ago was that?
I have no idea.
That was forever ago. I went full glam because we have a full day today. We have a birthday party to go to and a Magic the Gathering tournament tonight. This night sounds very like theme appropriate to Magic the Gathering. It does. It really does. Also, I did this cute little pigtail thing. Because can I show you that picture I sent the other day?
Yes.
I'm going to add it. This is our text from the other day. I'm going to put it up here for us.
I went with no glam because I'm going to paint a bedroom today. But we are going on a date tonight, so I have to shower and wash my hair and look nice later.
This one. Is that mine? Yeah, that's mine. There we go. This girl. That's what it looks like this morning.
Very fluffy.
This is a good look for you. I'm so sweaty from my workout. Hunched over my chickens.
I literally was just like sitting there eating it. So sweaty because it's been 95 degrees in Denver all week. And I was like, I hope nobody walks in right now.
You at least have a dry heat. It's been in the 90s here all week and it poured rain last night. And so it is just like, I mean, it's like walking through a sauna at all times.
So for sure, dry heat is better. But I like stepped outside yesterday and I was like, North Carolina is kind of like being steamed alive, like you're a lobster. Colorado is just like being on air fry mode. Like, I'm not damp, but it's oppressively hot.
I'm constantly damp right now. Like I had to close the door. And so, or I didn't have to close the door, but I closed the door. And so I was like, I need like my pits vented or like linen, or I'm straight up in linen with like my shortiest short shorts on right now. Hopefully I don't have to stand up.
My pajama shorts on, so same.
But we have like, what is it? I think it's supposed to rain again. I'm like looking out my window longingly. Stroke the glass, let me outside. All the dogs are like that right now. I had something funny to tell you from this morning.
Brief segue. I'm Steph. You're Erin. This is In Our 30s. That's our today.
Welcome to your 30s. Welcome to our 30s.
Our 30s.
They have been a lot.
I was just telling my sister-in-law because she just turned 29. And so my husband was like, 29th birthday. And she was like, don't remind me how old I am. And I was like, first off, I'm older than you, so shut up. I was like, second off, my 30s have been way better than my 20s.
Straight up. Everybody, like, I think we're not following, but I think we're getting the right Instagram algorithm for like being in our 30s at this point. And all of the like super fun videos where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have that in my life, are like, everybody lies to you. Your 20s aren't where it's at. Your 30s are totally like where it lands. And it's true. I mean, how many times have I seen you in the last year?
And again next month.
Literally, and again next month. I get to go out with my friends. But like, I get to do all the fun stuff. Like, we get to have fun stuff. We get to do fun stuff. It's cool. I like it.
I dig the 30s.
I dig the 30s. I started doing little highlights. First of all, this is how far I got in this book this week, which is fine because I've read it 3 times now, but
I did the audiobook. I'm on Mist and Fury now, so I really am here on vibes. No, I took notes, actually.
Okay, I have a few notes, and like I remember pretty much most of the book, but I'm on Frost and Starlight, and everybody makes fun of Frost and Starlight for like, why did we need this book? It's literally just like talking about winter solstice and like getting life together at that point. But I'm like vibing with the audiobook.
I'm excited to get there. I didn't hate that book. Like, it didn't feel super useful, but it was also kind of a nice reprieve after how heavy Wings and Wind is.
Well, that's what I was noticing. This time, this is the first listen. I've read them twice, and this is my first listen. Is there's from the very front of this book to the very back of this book, there's no stops. It is like go, 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 moving on to the next thing the whole time. And there's so many of the little Easter eggs from the whole universe in here. Like literally, we're talking about in the first, where is that? Was it this one? I've got all kinds of stuff. No, it wasn't that one. It was the first one. It's on page I'm so glad I got these little stickies. Page 9 is the first mention of like a word mark, and they're talking about, yeah, dude. And I was like, whoa. However, this is like talking about it around the cottage door, and whatever the guy actually, she was like saying that the guy was like a fake, basically, because they obviously did nothing when Tamlin like beat the door down. But I thought I totally like didn't realize that on any other read that.
Well, it's because we read these first.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But
also, briefest segue before we fully dive into this book, I was looking up clubs in Denver for when you're here, and I'm so upset that you're going to be here the weekend after one of the clubs here does off-campus night.
Oh, remember we looked, and I was looking at tickets, and then tickets that weekend were like $700, dude.
Oh no, way worse. I'm just really sad that it's not the same weekend because I would vibe with that so hard.
You should go anyway. Find somebody to go. I would.
Do I have any friends?
They did something here. Where was it? It wasn't off campus. Oh, maybe it was Heated Rivalry, though. There's like a newer smut bookshop here. And I mean, obviously we're a really small city, but we're military. And so like all the women are reading the smut. And so I think they've actually done pretty well for themselves. But I think it was a Heated Rivalry night. They do like book club and like everything. It's super cute. But there's that one. Okay, wait, no, this was something. I think this was what I wanted to mention. I might have said this to you before, though. I've never met a normal Erin in my life. Female Erin. Every female Erin I've ever met hasn't been like chaos off the walls, but has at least been like kooky, you know? And I follow this girl named Erin. It's Ann_Erin, Ann Erin. And I think she won Project Runway. She sews. And so I started following her for that because she created this crazy big, beautiful, like billowing, I think it was an Yves Saint Laurent knockoff. Like she made it herself, but it was obviously like a high fashion. It's not something you would wear somewhere.
Right.
But she made it in like a really short number of hours so that she could go do this like sunrise photo shoot with it on this like beautiful grassy knoll. I think she's British. But then there's an Erin, and I'm gonna butcher her last name, but I think it's Cochlean, something like that. CHOLK, whatever. And she is the one that is a stand-up comedian doing like Heated Rivalry PowerPoints.
I have not seen this.
Yeah.
hit my algorithm.
I follow them because like every time I come across a random Erin on the internet, especially if she's fucking weird, I follow her. I'm like collecting all the Erins on my personal account right now.
Gosh.
And one day I'm going to send out one of those giant messages that's like, I bet you're all wondering why I've gathered you here.
You were including yourself in this list of I've never met a normal Erin.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I mean, the decisions that I've made throughout my life, there's a reason I've been in therapy for 10 years. And a lot of those reasons are myself. I meet the weirdest Stephanies though. They're all so different from each other.
I feel like all the Stephanies I've ever known are either like super weird, like scary weird, not fun weird,
like weird horse girl weird.
Yeah, like I don't want to be friends with you weird. Or they're like crazy preppy blonde, bubbly.
Well, maybe actually, because I think a lot of the Stephanies that I know, except for like I'm related to one Stephanie, totally normal, totally chill, like the most like neutral, just genuine, kind person I know.
Love it.
But the rest of them fall into that earlier category of you don't really want to be their friend.
Yeah, like it's not a fun weird.
You're just fun weird though.
Thank you.
But you're also like pretty normal. That's like my divide of Stephanies. They're either just like off the walls, like don't want to be your friend, or they're just totally like easy to be around. Totally normal. I consider you normal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My best.
Now that we've got that out of the way. I don't have a lot. I literally have 2 notes for this.
I have 3. Oh my gosh, I have more notes than you. They're like, they're not profound in the slightest. I go into my theories like so confidently though. This one has no theories. I have 3 notes and I think they're all hilarious. I'm the comedian here. I'm not here for theories. I'm here for vibes.
Mine are not vibes. Mine are very like detail heavy. So why don't you go first?
This is why we balance each other. Okay. I don't know what made me decide to take these 3 notes. I think part of it is I'm listening on audiobook. So I'm listening when I'm like driving or working out. And so I like didn't stop to take notes. So my first note is if someone licked a tear off my face, I would freak out, especially if it was somebody I hated and I was trapped in a bargain. Absolutely not. I remember reading that scene for the first time and being like, that's weird. Yeah. She's in the dungeon and Rhysand licks the tear off her face. And I know he explains it later. I know he was trying to distract her. I get it. But if somebody came up and just like licked my face.
I have a weird thing with tongues. Don't touch me with your tongue. Like even dogs, like cats, don't touch me with your tongue. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. Don't touch my hand. Don't lick my arm. Don't put your tongue on my face. That the first time I remember like reading that sentence, I'm
also sure that she intended for it to be cuter than what I pictured, but I'm just picturing like full on like tongue up the face. That's the screenshot for this video. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be the one on the screenshot.
Means that you have to go through and do the screenshot and I can just beat you to it.
Yeah, that's true. I have so little freedom. Yeah, I was like so freaked out by that. Every time I've read it, every time I've listened to it. No, thank you. Okay.
So what's your next one?
In all caps. It's backwards, I know. But in all caps.
Actually, it's not.
The answer is love. The answer is love. I remember the first time I read that poem and immediately I was like, the answer is love. And the fact that Feyre goes through this whole book having no idea and all of a sudden at the last possible second is like, oh my God, wait, it's love. I figured it out.
She's never felt that in her life. How is she supposed to know that that's what it is?
I still feel like from the words, you can figure it out.
Oh, straight up. I distinctly remember having that, like when you heard the riddle being like, that feels like should be the answer. I also love that I can tell that you straight up didn't take any notes until obviously she was under the mountain as a slave, which I think is like halfway through the book.
I will also say, I think some of that is like knowing how the book ends and how the rest of the story goes, because I was so uninvested in Feyre and Tamlin's story through the audiobook, because I was like, get to where Rhysand gets in the picture. Get to, I've been looking, there you are, I've been looking for you, because I don't care about, my third note is just tampon sucks. I don't remember what specific context that, oh no, I do. It's when he pulls her into the closet when he could maybe save her and free her because he's finally got 5 minutes from Amarantha, and instead he tries to get in her pants. And like, bro.
But this is literally, okay. So this is something that flashed in my head because I have dated many men. It is literally the difference between what all men, they just act like, most men just act on instinct. They don't think before they do anything. They're literally just trying to fulfill the need that they feel like they have at that moment. The majority of men. Tamlin.
100%.
Men who actually think through things, like think through processes, think through their own emotions, know how to think through other, like think about other people's emotions, trying to always be multiple steps ahead of the game. Like men who handle life the way that like a partner 90% of the time is going to want a man to handle life. Rhysand. And so of course we hate Tamlin because the entire time Tamlin is just like, I mean, yeah, he's going through a lot. He's been through a lot, but like he's not doing anything to save himself or to progress his life into a better place. He's just letting it all happen to him and reacting as it goes on, which is like the stupidest way to be in life for anyone, not just men, but like 90% of the dudes I've dated, that's them. They're just like, this is my fate. This is what's happening. This is the only, like, I can't change this. And then there's the people who really like, they have a vision. They think through what the vision needs. They understand pushing the agenda forward for their mission. And they just handle shit. And that's the big, like, between Tamlin and Rhysand. Because Rhysand is like constant. Every time he goes down there, it's something for Feyre.
Yeah.
But every single time that Tamlin under the mountain interacts, every single time Tamlin interacts with Feyre throughout the entire book, it is about controlling Tamlin's own feelings, controlling Tamlin's own responses, all of it, rather than actually doing that emotional connection. Oh my God, did I send you that Instagram video?
Which one?
The guy who's talking about the patriarchy is, I sent it to someone. Hold that thought. Actually, no, I put it on my story. That's where it was. Hopefully it's not gone yet. Because I love these guys. They're fabulous. They talk about the ACOTAR books a lot.
Oh, I do think I saw that.
So this one, wait a second.
Over-connecting, winning over relating. And patriarchy teaches boys competing over connecting, winning over relating, and fighting over cooperating. So we also...
And they were literally like, I'm pretty sure talking about ACOTAR, like, well, maybe not because this is a guest speaker, but he's talking about how like in places where the patriarchy has existed, that's the problem with like young boys. We're not teaching them how to connect with other people emotionally. Right. All we're doing is teaching them you're better or worse than that guy. And how does that make you feel?
Right.
Not like, hey, that guy's better than you. Why don't you go be friends with him and then maybe learn something from him?
Right.
Maybe you have something to teach him too. And that's what I do I showed that to the boy this morning and we had like a whole conversation about it because I was like, because that's a big problem. And like, it's okay for you to be more emotionally developed and help bring your friends into that because you're only going to service yourself better in that friendship. And you're now servicing your friends to be better people too.
Well, I sent you the quote from the guy that plays Graham in Off Campus, didn't I? Where he was talking about like how he developed the character and he was like, so few people see somebody so confident in their masculinity that they're also comfortable in their femininity and like showing emotion and things like that. And I was like, yes, we love that.
Yeah, I like him. I think most of those guys, like, because even the guy who plays oh my gosh, the guy who plays Dean, Stephen Callan,
So
we're off topic, but either way, whatever his name is, he was talking about like the character. I don't remember exactly what it was. Either way, that was one of his fiance's favorite book characters, and then he would play it, and I was like, that's so
also,
sweet.
they are high school sweethearts.
I know. Well, that's what he said though, is he was like, I mean, I love getting to play this character for like the masses, but like getting to play this character for my fiance was so dope. And I was like, yes.
I love that. So cute.
That was awesome. I could totally see him also. Oh my God. What is he compared to? The guy in, is it Shrek? Have you seen the pictures of him compared to, I think it's Prince Charming in one of the Shreks, the guy with the blonde, flowy, locking hair. Have you seen this?
Nope, but I'm about to look it up.
You gotta look it up. It's so funny.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious. Can you show it?
It's the swoopy middle part.
It is. And the exact like corn husky color of the hair. Yes.
The fact that he has a crown on like just makes it better.
I kind of wonder if it was done purposefully because it feels very like intentional.
Totally. Also, my little theater geek heart I'm still not done with off campus. But my little theater geek heart is just so thrilled at all the theater references sprinkled throughout. I'm like, I don't know if it was the author of the book or somebody on this show, but like they love musical theater and I'm so here for it. I was like, we've got hockey, we've got a cheesy romance, we've got theater. This is beautiful. I love it.
These favorite tropes.
Some of my favorite things.
Yeah, no, I love him. I think he would play a really good, there was somebody in this book that I was like pairing the off-campus characters to. First and foremost, Belmont Camelli, I think that's how you say his name. He could totally get it as one of the bad boys.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel in my heart of hearts that I really want him to be Cassian.
Yeah.
But
I feel like he's not like big enough for what I picture Cassian being.
I feel like paired with the right, like petite kind of female main character, it could work.
It could.
I feel like it could work because I think he's kind of tall. I don't know, but either way.
Do you think he's tall? I feel like I just picture Cassian as like
huge,
gigantic. Like his shoulders are like 2 feet wide. Like I feel like I picture Azrael as like smaller than that, still intimidating, but definitely smaller. But Cassian is like
bulk.
Yeah, he's just gonna
at the same time.
Like Cassian is just gonna be a wall. You run at him and like, no, it's not moving.
Also, I was totally wrong at one point. I said I thought Nesta and Feyre looked different. And the emphasis in this book, when they're walking to the market with the like wolf pellet or whatever, they all apparently have that same like, what did the mercenary called it? Brassy hair.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be their eyes that are maybe different. But I think Nesta is supposed to like look more like the mom. Oh, wait a second. All right. Reverse. So we keep talking about what we think was up with the Archeron sisters before whatever. So we know we have the Ironwood bed.
Yes.
We know,
the witches.
We think Mama Archeron is a descendant of witches, which I think is like really further perpetuated when they're talking. Like, I think it gives us the real idea of like, obviously at the end of Throne of Glass, there is this like shortage of witches because the Cochrans had been getting killed off by the Iron Teeth for, I think it's like a century or something like that, isn't it? Like a
Yeah,
crazy
long
amount of time. And we have no idea what happens with the waste. I mean, Ansel of Briarcliff is out there, and she's talking about with Manon about like sharing the space.
Right.
And so overall, we know that there's not like tons and tons of witches left, but that a lot of witches were in hiding to start because they were persecuted.
Right. All the ones that like showed up and just like pulled their broom out of the closet.
We also know that the witches didn't have true power inside them except for the yielding.
Right.
That's what we understood a witch's power to be from Throne of Glass. I think obviously the witches and the fae interconnect, and that's how we get a lot of people like Hypaxia in Crescent City.
Right.
But I also think that there are still other witches that probably lived in places like Mama Archeron did, in like smaller towns. After the next war, they were probably shut out again. Like, we don't really have witches in ACOTAR at all. And so I think that kind of like brings back in even more and more how much that Mama Archeron could have been a descendant of witch. Maybe didn't even know. But one thing that really made me think like, oh, maybe we're totally wrong. Papa Archeron is the one who bought that bed. He bought that bed as a marriage gift to Mama Archeron. And so like, it's not like a family heirloom. It's not like anything else that could have like really significant meaning in my eyes. But I think that was
be like protective against the fae, because like iron is the big thing of like, right? It's iron that Elaine's wedding band is made out of, or engagement ring.
Then we go to find out that iron actually doesn't do anything towards the fae now.
Well, right, but they think it does.
Yeah.
Maybe he just bought the bed as like protective.
But it's not iron, it's wood. It's a type of tree.
Touché.
And that's what the brooms were made out of in Throne of Glass. It's a wood. And ashwood is the one in
the arrows
ACOTAR that protects, that can like slow the fae healing and all of those things.
Do we think all three girls are actually Mama Archerons?
So because of the hair, I specifically tried to find where the hair color might have been referenced like as coming from the mom or coming from the dad. And I tried to pay really good attention and I couldn't find that. So my assumption would maybe be, if they do all look a lot like Mama Archeron, maybe instead of all the same, or all them having a different mom, one of them having a different mom, maybe one of them has a different dad.
I could see that.
But then there's a part in the beginning of this book that's talking about how Mama Archeron would just like dote after Papa Archeron, and that like she would almost totally ignore the girls, but that she was like all over him, like throwing him parties and managing his life and like doing all of that stuff, that she loved doing it. So I'm also like, I think that all three of the girls come from both of them.
I kind of wonder if Nesta is from like a previous relationship or something like that. Like if Nesta is the different one, because they have such a like, her and Papa Archeron have such a bad relationship. And like Mama Archeron was so like insistent on her. And I know she's also the oldest daughter, but I wonder if like.
Do you remember how close they are in age though?
No.
3 girls within 3 years. Nesta is 3 years older than Feyre. And so they would have had to have met like while she was pregnant.
Mm. Yeah, touche.
In my head. I don't know. I think all 3 girls come from both of them. But I do think that because her father was like a traveling merchant, which isn't something that's like, we don't really find out how he super gets into that. But like, he would have gone a bunch of different places. We don't really know if they're like from this location they ended up in.
Right. I actually think they talk about that they're not.
Oh, really? I totally missed that.
I have no idea where, but I feel like somewhere they talked about like how they weren't from like the village that they're in.
Interesting.
But I could be totally wrong about that too.
I do remember that the manor house is supposed to be, or I think I remember that the manor house is supposed to be like a village over. Like they moved when they moved into the cottage to a different spot. But in my heart of hearts, I still think that Mama Archeron had some type of ancestry that would lead to one of those things. And like, so the girls just had like a trace of it when they were all turned.
Yeah.
And so that's why they hold like power so well, kind of, you know?
Okay, I could see that.
That would be my like.
Because the witches, I mean, I guess that's going into book 2, but like when the witches go into the cauldron, it does not go well.
Right? The queens.
The queens, sorry.
Queens. Yeah, exactly.
And they're like fully human.
But that was also because of Nesta taking whatever she took from the cauldron. So I have so many like thoughts and feelings on Nesta. I love Nesta, first of all. People who hate on Nesta for being a real shithead, and I think it's the end of Frost and Starlight and the beginning of Silver Flames, can get over it because I love Nesta. But she what was it? Oh, maybe that's actually a different book though. I don't think that's ACOTAR. It's when it's talking about maybe it is ACOTAR. There's a lot of like references before she's turned to like this fire in her eyes, this like she's already got something kind of like back in her that's like fighting internally, sort of thing. I don't know. And then there's a lot of emphasis, especially in the first book, about how Mama Archeron only had Feyre swear something to her.
Right.
And I think Nesta had something too. That's gonna, yeah, that like might come out, or like, I don't know. Because also the way that she connected with Ember, and like the stuff that they like taught, like apparently they had like really big heart to heart, and like Ember's like a true blown mom. I really think that something's gonna come out in these next few ACOTAR books, that like Nesta also had something going on, like a sworn oath to her mom, because there was so much emphasis on Farah's oath, and then Nesta was just like, I mean, she was so ugly about all of it, you know, like it wasn't like a natural kind of ugly in my eyes. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe, I don't know, maybe she was the one that was supposed to try to like maintain their social status.
Yeah.
Like marriage and stuff like that. And then when Papa Archeron lost all their fortune and made it like impossible for her.
Yeah, because how long? I don't know. I also find it odd. Like I feel like there was. I have a lot of theories. We could go on forever about Mama Archeron, but I also feel like there was something maybe about her death that was like a little weird, because like it seems just a little too convenient that when Mama Archeron passes, they lose all their fortune, all of these things happen. She makes Feyre swear the oath to take care of them. And Nesta turns even more into a heinous bitch than she already was, because that's talked about, like how she was always terrible to Feyre.
Right.
Doted all over Elaine. And so I think instead of it being more along the lines of like social standing, I think it's more along the lines of like whatever Mama Archeron was, and that there was something like specific, because Elaine is kind of that like, I mean, she becomes a seer, obviously. Right. And she's kind of, but like her personality shifted in the sense that she became very sad, but like who she was, none of that really altered. I mean, same with Nesta, but I don't know. I think it has more to, I think whatever.
I mean, I think both Nesta and Feyre had a lot of personal growth, and Elaine is just kind of like
aloof.
Very naive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah.
I feel like Feyre and Nesta are both really good about being like, this situation I've been put in, like, super sucks. I'm going to wallow for a little bit, and then I'm going to figure it out, which I feel like is also how both you and I are. And Elaine is just like, woe is me, I'm sad. Everything's terrible. Life has happened to me. I'm sad.
She's the Disney princess throwing herself on the chase lounge.
Fully waiting for the man to come save her. Like, zero Elaine trying to like, okay, what am I going to do next?
Have you noticed the way that they say like chase, like the chase loungers? Have you heard the way that they say that in these audiobooks?
I don't know that I've heard that word in these audiobooks.
It's like CHAISE. How do you say that word?
I feel like I've always heard it as like a chaise.
So that's how they say it in this book. I have always heard it as a chase lounge, which like I'm from a very southern area, like very red.
Chaise.
I have never heard that before until this series. And I was like, oh, maybe that's like the European pronunciation. Like maybe that is like the actual accurate European pronunciation and we're doing the like American pronunciation because there's other words and like Manon's name is French.
Yeah.
You know? I've never heard chaise lounge in my life.
Audiobooks really are humbling. Like after reading a book in person, like reading just like the physical book and then listening to an audiobook, it's humbling because it's like,
how many words am I dumb enough to not know?
How many words am I dumb enough to not know? And then like the names. I will say Fourth Wing was the worst of like just all of the names that I was pronouncing incorrectly. But ACOTAR hasn't been great either. Feyre and Rhysand both were terrible when I was reading through it the first time.
I couldn't bring myself to Feyre because I was like, that's really dumb. This is a book about Fae.
I agree.
Which, I mean, honestly, and you keep talking about the names like Elaine, and I want to know what Nesta. What does Nesta mean? What could that be? What does Nesta mean? Is it a word that means something? It means pure and chaste. I'm sorry. Have they read Silver Flames? Pure and chaste.
Also, like, she's the meanest character.
That is Welsh.
So many portions of this book.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Oh, wait. There's a Jamaican and Greek variant of a Greek name, or it's often interpreted as a variant of the Greek name Nestor, N-S-T-O-R, which means returner. I can get behind that one.
So because you did that, I just looked up Elaine, which is also Welsh or Greek origin. That means either bright shining light or fawn.
She is a fawn.
She's a fawn, 100%.
She is a doe-eyed Bambi.
100%.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What other good names are there in this series? I bet Cassian means something.
Ooh, I'm on it. Let's see.
Ooh.
The name Cassian is primarily of Latin origin, meaning hollow, empty, or vain.
I mean, I don't know. Actually, no, I can't even give Cassian that shit because I was just listening to the end of the battle, or like when the battle is happening in, I think it's Wings and Ruin, it's Mist and Fury, and Cassian fires off at Rhysand and is like, so what, you can like sacrifice for us and like we're not allowed to say anything, but none of us are allowed to do the same, which like feels very deep for Cassian. But I love the timing of Rhysand showing up. Also, okay.
Which time?
At the wedding. Is that this book?
That's not this book. That's the next
book. God. Every single time. I find it so interesting that even when I was rereading this time, I straight up didn't really notice all of the times that Rhysand and Feyre clearly had a bond between their minds, and that obviously he's, what is it called? Daemonati? Daemati, that's what it is. Daemati. Obviously he is that, but well, I guess that kind of explains all of it though. His ability to like get in her head and like do all of those things.
Like the music her out on Calamai with the drums.
Yeah. And like the music into the cell that she's in under the mountain. I guess that would make sense. I was kind of thinking in my head that like even on this reread, it is not super clear throughout the entire book that they are like mates. And in my brain, I was like, but oh, well, that would be a reason to, but it's already.
I will say, like rereading this book, it is amazing how much like the first time we read these books, I was like, wow, we love Tamlin. This is great. Rhysand is like kind of scary, like don't love that he's encroaching. And now rereading it, I was like, how did I ever think that? Like it's one red flag after another.
It's the dining room scene. The dining room scene. The dining room scene was when we sealed that Tamlin was doing the right thing and that Rhysand was a bad guy, because I remember like that scene and being like, I don't like how he did that. Like he was a really good actor. When Tamlin like senses the shift that like Rhysand had like been winnowing or just arrived or something like that. And so
they were like behind the curtain.
He has Lucian hide and glamour Feyre and like get up by the window and try to like mask her. And Rhysand comes in and he like very quickly clearly is like looking for the signs, notices the table, scents the air, and you're like, he's a predator.
Yeah,
he's a predator looking for his prey. And like
on the reread to be like, that aside, like all of Hamlet's behaviors throughout, it's like that's a red flag and that's a red flag and that's a red flag.
Not letting her go anywhere and do anything.
Beauty and the Beast.
That was straight up what it was. All of us who loved Belle as a child went, oh my gosh. And nobody took this book seriously because it was basically a Disney movie. And then we got to the end of Crescent City and we were like, there's a reason he's called Tampon. I would love to see him show up somewhere through the Crescent City and all of it. I cannot wait to figure out like I hope that his redemption arc comes in before he dies, because I think he has to die.
I could see that.
Like, I think it's going to be this. I think that's going to be like the cherry on top of his redemption arc.
He's going to like sacrifice himself.
Because what would it be? What would it be? Is it something about the pool of starlight in the spring court and he like, I don't know, you know, like where is it going to come from? How is he going to do it? He's going to do something either really good or really bad in these next few books. I can feel in my heart of hearts.
I feel like based on how she writes, it'll be a redemption. Well, I don't know because she's got a lot of characters that like, they are just evil, straight through. They do not get redeemed. They're just bad.
See, but the redemption arc was already kind of coming at the end of Mist and Fury.
That's true.
Because of the, like, they had the big meeting and then, I just got to the part where Rhysand is going to visit the spring court in Frost and Starlight. I am literally right there. I forgot that was in this book. There's so much scheming set up in this book. That's why I'm like, why do people hate this? There's so many moving parts right now.
I'm at, they're just about to leave. Well, this is not this book, but I'm at where they're just about to leave for the Hewn City to beg Kier for his armies. And Moore is like, don't do it. Why would we do this? I still think Moore is going to end up being like a double agent. Maybe not a full bad guy, but maybe we have like a Lydia situation with Moore where like ultimately fighting for good, but playing both sides.
Who's she playing the other side with? Who's she doing that with?
My thought was like either in in Crescent City somewhere, or like on the continent where we get way later in the books, and I don't remember any of their names because it's been so long since I've read Silver Flame, which I think is where it comes up, but where they're like on the continent with the lake and the like sixth queen.
Vasa.
Yeah. Like if she's somewhere over there somehow. I don't know. I just have like a feeling that we don't see all of Moore.
So I have had, we're basically doing ACOTAR as a series in this.
We should go back to the first book because we have recordings for each of the books.
But that's okay because then we can dive further into all of this. Because I've said Moore's gift is truth.
Which is funny because I got to a part, I don't remember which book it was now, but she totally lies to whoever she's talking to.
I mean, she lies she's been lying her entire centuries and centuries of life. She tells a secret to Feyre in Mist and Fury that she's never told, or Wings and Ruin, I think is that one actually, that she's never told to anyone. So Feyre is the first person she's talked to about this. And her gift is truth.
Yeah, she lies so many times throughout that I'm like, what do we mean her gift is truth? Because like if she's capable of lying, it feels like it takes away any like she talks to the human queens and she's like, you guys know me, I'm the Morrigan, my gift is truth, so you know that what I'm saying to you is real. And it's like, but you are clearly capable of lying, so like what do you mean?
Yeah, what truth is? I think I don't know. I don't know.
Seer?
Is she what?
Is she a seer? Like could her gift of truth be like
future? I don't think so because there's so many instances that pop up where she's like taken by surprise and she's pissed.
Or like maybe being able to like see people's true intentions or something like maybe she can detect truth and she's just been masking it as like she doesn't lie.
I don't know. Because then Azriel has Truth Teller. And that's supposed to be like...
Does that actually like do any... Like I feel like I don't remember any parts where that enacts the truth out of people. I kind of just feel like it's a scary name where it's like...
Because it teaches you with it.
Yeah. Like you're going to spill your guts because he's about to slice you up with that thing. Not because of magic powers. I do think it comes back at some point when they're like interrogating someone, but I could be totally wrong because I haven't seen it thus far in my reread. However, I did have from the very early pages of the book, I think that's this one. Nope, not that one. Oh, before I read my 2 notes, I want to reread this book. I put this little sticky here. I'm going to reread the series at some point, and this color sticky is going to be every single time the term shredded to ribbons happens in this series because it is too much. There are several like repeated phrases where I'm like, I hate that phrase. Can we not use it?
No, it ruined it. But when Tamlin bursts in the front door, so this was my note. Fairies can't lie. All mortals knew that. That's on page 35. It's when Tamlin busts through the front door and he says, what does he say? A large gray wolf with a gray, or a large wolf with a gray coat, he snarled. Would he know if I lied? Fairies couldn't lie, all mortals knew that, but could they smell lies on human tongues? And it's talking about, she's trying to figure her way out of it. So I was thinking on that though, like the moment I read it, I said, do we think this came from the life binding pieces of their bargains? Like fairies and humans did coexist for a really long time. Are we as humans, under the impressions that fairies can't lie? Because like if you met a fairy and they swore something to you, like if they bargained with you, did that bind them so much to that bargain that they had to fulfill it? And that's what the humans are talking about. Because we see that pop up and up and up over and over again about Feyre getting her bargain with Rhysand and it like tattoos their skin. And then we also have the bargains with the Bone Carver and I think Abraxas. We also get the bargain there. And like all of these pieces, I think that's what it would.
I could totally see that.
And so, because like, why else would all of the humans think that fairies couldn't lie? And like, they even give Feyre, I think it's literally just a few chapters past this, Lucian is giving Feyre a really hard time. Like, oh, you thought I couldn't lie to you? That's bullshit. I think it's on their horse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's when they go like hunting and Lucian. Yeah. Also, like looking back on this, I don't understand why Lucian is such a punk to her, knowing that she is there to try to break this curse for all of them. And I feel like he antagonizes her so hard. Going back to Beauty and the Beast, thinking like all of the pots and the pans and the servants that turned into furniture and everything are like trying to get Belle to fall in love. They're like, look how wonderful he is. I know he's kind of scary, but it's okay. He's wonderful. Really, give him a chance. And Lucian's like just a dick to her the whole time. And it's like, don't you want them to fall in love? Because then this stupid fox mask comes off your face. Why are you acting like this?
Do you think it's that really stupid idea that like if he made himself look bad, Tamlin would have looked better, and that they had talked about that beforehand and been like, this is how we're going to win her over? It feels like a Tamlin move.
I guess maybe, because there is that like jealousy in the beginning where Lucian's like talking to Feyre and Tamlin immediately gets defensive and is like, don't look at her. And he's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, that and the fact that Feyre, does literally kill their friend and then skins him.
Well,
and sells his fur. So, I'd be mad. And then, so I don't remember exactly when this happens, but when I think it's a summer court, it's one of the peregrines, the ones with the angel wings, the bird wings instead of the bat boys, is like dumped on the spring court's like border, or they find him. So this was my only other note. The prayer that Tamlin says over the dying fairy, cauldron save you, mother hold you, may you pass through the gates and smell the immortal land of milk and honey. And I was like, that's so many things. Mother hold you, that's what they call the three-faced goddess.
Okay, that's in Throne of Glass.
Throne of Glass. Cauldron save you is obviously ACOTAR. They have the cauldron.
Right.
And then the passing through the gates to smell the immortal land of milk and honey. Passing through the gates alone is like Crescent City through and through. And we're talking about all of the world walking through gates to get there. We have the Northern Rift and the Southern Rift in Crescent City. We have like being able to create the gates with the word marks in Throne of Glass. And like the word marks are obviously in the ACOTAR world, because that's like the swirls and whirls that they put around the cottage door. And
do we think that the tattoos are also word marks?
Yes.
Those are also described as like swirls. Do we think, is that the binding power? Like for their bargains? Is the tattooed word marks?
I think I think the word marks create the bind, but I think the magic within the fairies. Oh my God. The magic within the fairies is what creates the word marks on the skin. I think their magic is tied to the word marks, and the word marks actually appear when that magic is used.
I can see that.
Aelin had word marks on her back.
Yeah.
And I truly and definitively think that the language Bryce's tattoo is word marks. Because it's not like their language. It's the old language of the Fae.
True. That would be a good like connection between all of them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. This is supposed to be, so ACOTAR, we find out in this book, 500 years before now, there was a war between fairies and humans. And that it's really enacted by the people who like aligned with Hybern. And so I think that Throne of Glass happens, peace is relatively established, the world starts to open up to all of these different places, the southern continent in ACOTAR. They travel to farther kingdoms because Rowan and Lorcan and all of them talk about having traveled far and wide to kingdoms that don't even exist anymore. And I think that ACOTAR lives on the same world because Feyre's father loses their riches when traveling south, which like in Throne of Glass, that sea certain times of the year is supposed to be like impassable.
Right.
And so I think his ships were traveling south. I think that we're like in the territory of like Melisande and like the lower half of the Throne of Glass world where the humans are now. And that Wendlin is the area because that's the direction that the map points. Wendlin is the same direction as the continent.
Yeah.
And that like this is 1,500 years in the future because Crescent City and this one are overlapping. Yeah. But 500 years ago was the big split that made ACOTAR the way it is. And that this is like the second or third generation somehow coming out of the Throne of Glass characters. I would think the third generation.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because wait, is it 1,500 or 15,000?
I feel like it's 15,000.
I think it's 1,000, and they're supposed to live
3 generations.
It would be more than 3 generations because they live. I mean, some of them were like 1,000, like close to 1,000 years old.
But were like 500.
No, because Morrigan is like 300 or 400 years old. She's been alive for centuries. So has Rhysand.
I thought Rhysand, Cassian, and Azriel were all like in the 200s.
So in Frost and Starlight, when they're talking about buying the gifts for everyone, Moore literally says, when you have been purchasing for centuries gifts for these people, which means that they've been together for centuries.
Okay, fair.
Morrigan was supposed to be married off. So I would say probably they're close to like, yeah, maybe 300. But then they're like, they talk about someone. No, because Rhysand fought in the war. That was 500 years ago.
Oh, you're right. The internet says 550. I don't know where I got.
Look at me. But like they live and they're still like considered young. I thought it was supposed to be like that. Some of them do live over 1,000 years.
I do think some of them do, but it still would make it like many generations.
Oh yeah. It would, no doubt. I do also like the idea that Throne of Glass is a different world in the world walking scheme though. And that it's like the original home of the Fae but then there's humans on that world too. I don't think we've seen the original world of the Fae yet.
I think that might be the other series that she hasn't written.
Maybe.
Also, this is obviously not ACOTAR related at all. It's the other two books, but that I like just keep thinking about that post I sent you about Rowan having a very similarly described ring to what Lydia has that she gives the children. And it's like, how did she get that? Like, how would she have come to end up?
Here's the thing, though. That ring, the rings that Aelin and Rowan wore, Aelin took from under when they were escaping Maeve in the caves.
Yeah.
And they raid that one gold coffer and she finds them there. But Lydia says that that is a heirloom from Brannon.
Does she?
It is, it is a heirloom of his namesake, and she gives it to Bran.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah. And so I'm also like, well, then why was the ring down there? Does it ever mention a ring in the tomb in Elena and Gavin, Elena and Gavin's tomb? I was about to say Galen, and I know that's not right. Yep. Elena and Gavin's tomb. Is there ever a ring mentioned in there?
Not that I remember.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I know, right? This is why people keep rereading these books. It's because every single time you read it a new way, you find something new. A little Easter egg just for you.
Easter egg.
I am excited to move on to a new series, but because I've read these so many times, like I probably gave like a solid 20 minutes to reading this book, and I made it to like page 40 because I was like speed reading because you can. Why are my dogs outside?
I will say I'm not going to drop the name of the other book I'm reading right now because I'm not done with it and it is starting to pick up. So I'm thinking Is it what?
Is it the one I gave you?
No. Oh. I'm finishing the other one I was reading first. And it's like very similar. I've ranted about it in my voice notes too, but like she's the chosen one, but she's poor and somebody comes in and is like supposed to train her, all of that. It has been going so slowly. And I can tell reading it, first off, there's a lot of elements pulled from like just the general fantasy, like he's actually 400 years old and like she's fulfilling a prophecy, all of that. But it's like, it's not fair. Sarah J. Maas has just ruined like these tropes so much deeper. And so reading these other ones that follow the same tropes, I'm like, this feels overused. And like, it's not like deep. It doesn't like tie into anything. It's just kind of like the same trope over again. I will say this book is supposed to be a 5-book series and I have like 100 pages left of this first one. So like, I'm not going to name drop it. I'm not going to name drop it and talk shit about it yet. Cause maybe the end gets better, but the beginning of it was like very slow.
Oh, maybe it'll pick up. It's the last 100 pages theory.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it'll pick up. That's why I'm not going to name drop it. Cause
I also love that like, when we first read these, we were like, the last 100 pages are what make you want to go on to the next book. No, reading this whole book, I'm like, I needed to know. I needed to remember what happened next because now I have so much more context.
I will say I remembered a significant amount of this book. Getting into the second and third one, I did not, but I remembered a significant amount of this book.
I remember so much about Wings and Ruin and Frost and Starlight. And I don't know why.
Because Wings and Ruin is the best one.
It is the best one. It's really good. I
have like 19 hours left on the audiobook. I was like, I forget how just massive this book is.
They're so big. That's what she said. But
I'll let it go.
What?
I said I was just going to let it go. I thought it, but I was going to let it go.
Never. All right. Well, we have been on here for a hot minute. I don't know that I have anything else from this book.
I read you my notes, so
10 out of 10 read.
5 stars on Goodreads.
5 stars on Goodreads. The lore. The lore is why we're here. I can't think of anything. Oh, do you have a rec?
Be weird. Be weird. We were talking about being fun weird in the beginning of this podcast. So my rec, be fun weird. Don't be horse girl weird. Be fun weird.
There's limits to the weird you should be.
Go to a dance club and dance sober kind of weird, not scare people away weird.
I mean, I could probably scare some people away sober dancing.
Okay, but like, I mean, like, if your behavior is going to scare most people away, it's too weird.
If your behavior is repellent instead of like a bug light where people feel like they just have to keep getting closer to it, that's a problem.
Be fun weird.
I had a rec and it was a good rec. It was like a real rec.
Your rec should be write things down when you think them, because now we're in our 30s.
Straight up. I do that for everything else except for like this. That's why I have 2 notes for the pod. However, I will say, where is it? Wings and Ruin. Got a lot. It's just.
I have none because I'm on audiobook right now, so I'm glad you have notes for that one.
I did it through the audiobook. You can talk.
Yeah, I'm doing it while I'm driving and running for the most part. Although I hurt my calf yesterday, so running's on pause. Anyways, no, talking about writing things down, I just bought reusable sticky notes. So it's like a tiny dry erase board, basically, but it's like sticky note sized. Because I like just use so many sticky notes at work where I write down like, oh, I need to send this, I need to sign that, I need to do this. And so I got like a pack of them and I offered it to my coworker yesterday and I was like, would you like basically a tiny dry erase board, but it's like a reusable sticky note? And he was like, oh, I didn't know they made that. That's amazing. Yes, I want that. That's amazing.
Cool rec.
Reusable sticky notes. If you're somebody who just like flies through sticky notes because you're writing things down, because if I put it on my phone or my computer, I will not look at it again. Reusable sticky notes.
So I actually, you know what? My rec is the reusable sticky note that is your phone. I have. I need a different picture to be on my featured photos because they're all of my child, and I would like to not have that. Please hold. Here's a good one. Maybe this one will stay for us. Nope, sure won't. We're just gonna put our hand over it.
What are you trying?
So this right here, you can make a widget of your notes app, and this is my to-do today. And so everything that I want to get done today, I put on the top of this note, and then I can click on it. And when I finish it, I can go check it off, and it goes to the bottom of the list so that whenever I go back out of my note, it's no longer at the top.
Huh.
Reusable sticky note.
Okay. Maybe I'll do that where it's a widget. I have like my notes app on my phone, but it's not a widget, so I don't look at it.
I have also not done that thing I just checked off, so I need to move it back to the top. I also opened the Russian keyboard. I am crushing it. Godspeed. God bless.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Really bad on that one.
Call us out.